when talking to the seller or real estate agent, we can't negotiate over things like the lack of nearby grocery stores. But there are specific buildings features that can lower the price if you mention them at the right time. But Viero, do I need to be an architect or an engineer to understand these things? Let me walk you through the key points you should be checking before making that purchase. Does the water supply system work? Is the electrical system up to date? What improvement options does the building offer? Are there urgent repairs needed on the roof or the façade? These are all questions you can ask yourself before buying. Here, high-end design meets reality.
For starters, finishings.
Finishings are the first thing that catch our eye. If a property is poorly maintained at the time of sale, it will automatically fall into a lower price bracket. On the other hand, painting and sprucing up a space is relatively easy and inexpensive. So, what does this tell us? If a seller hasn't bothered to make basic improvement before listing the property, that says a lot about its condition. While these issues are not so relevant for our topic of added costs, we will talk more about this in one of our future videos.
Checking the guts of the building.
If there is one thing you need to review before purchasing any property, it's the building's installations. In the worst case scenario, refurbishing installations can take up to 60% of the renovation costs for a building, so it is worth paying close attention here. If you have doubts or need a second opinion, it is always smart to hire a professional who can give you an upfront quote on the necessary work. Water and sewage systems, if well designed and constructed, can last up to 40 years. But be aware, many systems may start requiring significant repairs after just 20 years, which could lead to leaks, unpleasant odors, or even supply issues. The electrical system is usually easier to assess. If you notice very few outlets, it could be a sign that the system was designed years ago and needs updating. Old switches or outlets are also a red flag that the electrical system may require a major overhaul to meet modern standards. In these cases, I recommend calling a specialist to evaluate the situation. On the other hand, internet connectivity or HVAC system depend more on how you plan to use the house. Either way, it's essential to be clear on these costs before making the purchase, as they often represent a significant portion of the renovation expenses.
Mind the structure.
It is crucial to understand the type of structure the property has, as this will define the renovation potential. If the house is supported only by pillars, bingo! You've got a blank canvas, and you can knock down as many walls as you like to redesign the space. But if there are structural walls involved, it is important to seek professional advice to know what you can and cannot modify. Think of the structure of a property like the engine of a used car. You need to know the basics to ensure it's a sound purchase.
The building's envelope is not superficial.
The building envelope is responsible for protecting the structure from external elements like weather, controlling temperature and airflow, and maintaining the indoor environment's comfort. While in some European countries you can make a claim against a seller if the house has rainwater leaks, it's still a nightmare to discover water entering your home after you have already bought it. This is why examining the façade, window and door frames, and the roof, if you are buying a penthouse or a detached house, is critical. If the windows are old and offer poor sound or thermal insulation, if you can hear all the street noise or feel drafts even with the windows shut, these are important points to mention to the seller. These issues show that the property has defects that you will need to fix after buying, which will cost you.
Bathrooms.
Bathrooms are small spaces with basic features, but they offer significant opportunities for improvement if you want to elevate a property to premium status. The key here is to focus on the number of bathrooms relative to bedrooms. A home with one bathroom per bedroom offers a more hotel-like experience, where you don't need to leave your room to use the restroom or take a shower. This may seem trivial, especially in countries like the United States, where many homes are large and spacious. But in Europe and major cities, it's rare to find a property where each bedroom has its own bathroom. In fact, you will often find older homes with 3 bedrooms but only one full bathroom. If you are planning to renovate a property, think about whether it is worth adding a bathroom for each bedroom. While this mostly helps with renovation budgeting, if you are looking at a large property with very few bathrooms, you should definitely point out to the seller the additional cost of bringing the home up to modern standards.
Kitchen.
In all my years as an architect, I have rarely seen sellers list a property with a recently renovated kitchen. Even when they do, the renovation is often poorly done, with low quality materials or bad design choices that negatively impact on the house functionality. The kitchen is in many ways the heart of the home. If something is done poorly here, it can affect the entire property. Whether you are buying for yourself or as an investment, the kitchen is usually where you will find the most potential for improvement, and also has one of the highest potential costs.
Surrounding conditions.
What I am about to tell you is the area when even experienced investors often fall short. Properties aren't just stacks of materials organized to provide a shelter. They are legal entities connected to common elements and other buildings on an urban and legal level. You need to investigate any ongoing urban development projects from the local government that might affect the building. Does the property have any legal ties or outstanding debts with the community? You may discover that the homeowners association is struggling financially due to delinquent neighbors, or that the city is planning to expropriate a nearby plot to build a tower that will cast your home in shadow all day long. Or, on the flip side, you might be pleasantly surprised to find out they are planning a new bus stop or shopping center nearby. Understanding all the legal and urban constraints of a property before purchasing is essential. Sometimes the best or worst surprises happen after the deal is done. So keep informed. Making a well-informed real estate purchase requires more than just a casual walkthrough. By paying attention to key features such as installation, structure, the building envelope, and legal conditions, you can negotiate better deals and avoid costly mistakes. Thanks for watching. See the big picture and keep thinking forward.